Everybody, it's Tuesday evening, 8:14. I'm not 15 minutes late. I'm only 14 minutes late. Apologies for being a little late today, guys. I had some technology issues. I love when you're trying to get to some websites, you're trying to do work throughout the day, and things are hung up, and you go to look at solving the problem, and everyone says, clear your cookies, delete all your settings, get rid of your cache, all that kind of stuff. So you do that, and then it still doesn't fix the problem, number one, because who knows what the problem really was. And number two, every website you go to, you have to set up all of your stuff again. So I've spent the last 15 minutes setting up all of my accounts again so that I could get on and talk to you guys tonight. So, how is everything going? It's been another week. What's been going on with you guys? I'm curious to know what you guys have been up to. The weather's, at least where I'm at in the East Coast, the weather is changing. We've had a couple of days in the 70s. The sun's been out. It's been raining. It's been not raining. It's been doing all kinds of stuff, but there have been a bunch of nice days over the past week that I'm wondering if you guys have taken advantage of that or not. Hey, what's up, Rickwin 96, Bubbles? How you doing? Good to see you guys. I saw the Power Puck is on. We're going to talk about Power Puck. If you guys haven't seen Power Puck, you need to check out Power Puck. Follow the Power Puck on Instagram. Let's see who we got. Unrefined Acres. We got some Leandra Pucci. What's going on? We got people popping in. All right. So as always, guys, it's question and answer time with Coach Bronson. So if you have any questions, and there's that backwards thing. I forgot to check out the backwards thing. Does anybody know how, if it's possible, to flip my Instagram so that I'm not backwards? What I've had to do is if I want to use this content somewhere, I have to go into an app and turn it around the other way. I would love to know if someone knows in a settings. I probably can't do it during the middle of my live stream, but so that the next time I do a live stream, I'm not the wrong way. It's throwing me off. All right. What is going on these days? Let's see here. If you guys haven't heard, because we talked, well, I know you have heard because we talked about it last week. The boot camp is going. We got people that have joined. It is the bomb. There's some new information about the boot camp that I'll be talking about tonight. I want to go over with you guys because this last week has been amazing with all the stuff going on in the boot camp. And with some of my services in general. I'm in the process of talking to a company. I don't know if I should say anything yet because we haven't signed anything, but I kind of want to let you know so that when it happens, you're ready for it. Assuming it happens, right? We're being optimistic. We're putting it in the universe. It's going to happen. I'll talk about that too. So talk about the new stuff with the boot camp, talk about what's going on with something that's fantastical, cool about the programs. And then we're also going to talk about Power Puck. Talking about Power Puck asked a question. What is your opinion about working one or two muscle groups per lifting day versus doing full body each day of resistance training during the week? Okay. It all depends on what your goals are. There's no wrong way to do it. If you have the time and you have the energy and you only want to do 2 workouts a week, 3 workouts a week and be good, then you can do full body, blast every single muscle group. It's going to take you a while to do it properly. If you think you're going to go in an hour and blast every muscle group and do a full body workout, if you're doing lifting for muscle building, hypertrophy type style work, we're not talking about general conditioning, functional fitness. That's a different animal altogether, different conversation. If we're talking about weightlifting, a full body routine is going to take you an hour and a half to 2 hours, maybe more, if you're doing it right. Okay. If you're hitting everything, if you're going to a hard, challenging, struggling weights and you're working yourself through that, it's not going to happen quick. So if you have the time, you can do 3 days a week. You could do something else, right? That get familiar with high intensity training. So if you watch my YouTube channel, I did an interview that was posted last week with Kristen Rao, who does a high intensity training program. I'm incorporating it a little bit with what I'm doing because I'm having to change my style up a little bit because of my elbow spur. So it's kind of changing what I'm doing. There's tons of people out there. If you guys follow Mark Stroh, anybody that's in bodybuilding, you know, Mike Mensner, Arthur Jones, the guy who designed and founded Nautilus equipment, right? They were very much into high intensity training. And basically, high intensity training, you can do full body, maximum effort every single time, once or twice a week. Or you can do like what Kristen Rao does. I think she does every third day or every fourth day, she hits a group. So she'll do like legs on day 1 and upper body day 2 and arms and shoulders day 3, and then take a day off and then hit legs again. So every fourth day, you get a 3-day rest. Every fourth day, you're doing maximum effort, like muscle failure every single time, because you're looking at maximum stimulus and maximum recovery. So maximum stimulus during the workout, maximum recovery. 3 days is a great way to make sure you're getting enough rest before you hit those muscles again. So there's no wrong answer, right? Whatever you got, whatever floats your boat, have a blast. As long as you're getting everything in enough frequency, and you're giving yourself enough rest in enough frequency and volume, and you're seeing the progress that you want to see. If you decide that you want to do a split, and you do a split every 4 days or every 3 days, you're hitting the next thing, and you're not seeing the progress you want to see, you have to evaluate. This is where we go into the method of evaluation and looking at the big picture. Okay, what are you trying to do? What is your goal? What things can you adjust in order to make your goal more likely to happen? That's it. Okay. If a split isn't working, then you've got 2 things to look at. Are you going hard enough? Are you going heavy enough? The work that you're doing, is that the problem? Or is a split just not enough volume and you need to do more? Or the rest is too long and you need to change it up and have a shorter gap? And be like, there's things that you can look at and play with to see the best way to put it together. So that's kind of the answer for that. Hope that helps. Power Puck. We're going to get back to you guys, Power Puck. I'm going to answer a couple questions and we're going to talk, because I am getting ready for, we might as well talk about it now. I am getting ready for the cruise. If you guys didn't know, the low carb cruise starts in, what is today? 2 weeks. A week and a half, right? We got Memorial Day this week. Yeah, it's like a week and a half. So just under 2 weeks, Nat and I will be getting on a boat. What's up, Todd? We'll be getting on a boat. We'll be going to Texas, getting on a boat and sailing around the Gulf of Mexico with Dr. Barry, Dr. Sybis, Rob and Crystal Sykes, Dr. Boz, Nurse Cindy. I think Ben Azadi is going to be there. We got Fred Hahn. We got Amber O'Hearn. Gosh, I can't even. There's so many more. I think, is Dr. Westman coming? I think Dr. Westman might be even on this one. I don't remember. There's like everybody's going to be here. So it's going to be a blast. But I like to be looking good. We're going on a cruise. You know what I'm saying? Right? So I'm currently, hey, somebody knows the answer to that. Ben isn't going now. Oh, that's a bummer. Okay, Ben's not going, but Dr. Westman is going. Okay, cool. I like to look good when I go to cruises. I am currently a little higher in body fat than I like to be. So I'm usually running around, we'll say 11% on average, 10%, 11, sometimes in the 12s, but I hover around 11% on my daily. I'm currently almost 13%. Right? Not a big deal, but I don't feel comfortable in my body. I don't feel comfortable above 12. So I'm going to be working on getting back down to 12, under 12. I'm going to see, I've got about a 2 week, we're going to call it a 2 week cut that I'm going to go through. So similar, let's say I was doing a bodybuilding show and I'm running around doing whatever, I'm prepping for a show. 2 weeks out is usually when you start doing that final cut to get as much body fat off as possible. That's pretty much what I'm going to do. So I'm changing my macros a little bit. I'm increasing my protein. I'm dropping my fat. Now, I'm not dropping my fat crazy. Okay. I'm going from a 175 average. Okay. Lately, it's probably been closer to 185, 195, because I've been really loving my butter and eggs. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so good. But anywho, my normal maintenance is 175. So I'm probably going to go to like 155, 145, and hover around 155, 145. Bump my protein up. I usually am about 185, sometimes 200. I'm probably going to bump it to way more because I'm also changing my workouts, and I want to make sure that I have. And I'll probably drop it back down again. But as I change my workouts, I'm going a lot more intense in a different way than I used to go. So I want to make sure that I have the protein there as my body recovers and my muscles, you get that muscle protein synthesis optimized, that kind of thing. Once I figure out how that's working, I could probably drop the protein down again. But I'm going to go from 185, 200. I'm probably going to hover around 275, 285 grams. I might even get to 300 every once in a while. So we'll see how it goes. I think today I got like 310. So we'll see how that goes. But the process of this, I'm in a cut now. Okay. Technically, I'm in a cut. I don't like to say I'm in a cut, but that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm trying to lose some body fat before the cruise. And I bumped into these things and they're not going to make it easy. Okay. So Power Pucks, I love you guys. I love what you got. I love the product, but you had to do this right when I'm trying to cut. Okay. So if you guys haven't heard of Power Pucks, I'm going to hold up some bags here. Power Pucks. Okay. They are a fat treat. And you guys know I'm not one for fat treats. I don't like you guys stuffing fat in your face. But if you're going to do it, this is one that you should do. Okay. Tallow. Hello. Tallow-based fat treats. Okay. They've got peanut butter chocolate, French vanilla. They got some other stuff going on. They also have cacao-based options. Okay. Only, I think they use some whey protein and stevia. That's it. And some pork rinds for some crunch. It's got a little crunch. All right. This stuff is fantastic, guys. I got this in the mail the other day. They reached out to me. I went and ordered some and got it. I tried a couple. Oh boy. I texted them immediately. It was like, all right, what are we doing? We got to do something because this stuff is the bomb. I gave Coach Nat some of these French vanilla. Hey, Coach Nat. Nat. She can't hear me. She's watching the show. Oh, wait, maybe she did hear me. Babe. How would you describe these? One word. I put her on the spot. Because the look on your face when you were eating them was
luxurious.
Luxurious, she says. Luxurious. Okay. So the French vanilla is luxurious, guys. Instagram, Power Pucks, go check them out. They're really good. Good stuff, made good with good stuff. They're clean. The idea was make these for myself because they're the only thing I can find that I want to eat. And I guess apparently the owner, people started asking, hey, I want some. Can I have some? And then they made the Power Pucks. He told me they made the Power Pucks because they're great for kids. They're great little snacks for kids. Right? Pocket Pucks. Pocket Pucks. Pocket Power Pucks. So go check them out, guys. I have a link on my Instagram. I have a link on my link tree, which is on my Facebook. I will put a link under the description of this video on YouTube. Good stuff. Okay, so that's what's happening with the cruise. That's what's happening with my body composition and all the stuff I'm doing. And let's get into some questions now. Okay, we got, let's see here. Do you have any experience working with TMJ dysfunction? Unfortunately, I do not have any experience working with TMJ dysfunction. That is definitely one of those really specialized things that you should definitely go to a specialist to talk about. Best way to avoid stress on the forefoot. All right, let's see if we can look at this one here. Best way to avoid stress on the forefoot. Walking is painful. I've done some kettlebells, but wondering what else to add because this is chronic and I'm over making excuses. Okay, so tons of questions. What do you mean by the forefoot? Have you had it looked at? Is there any diagnosis? Do you have an injury? How long has this been going on? What specific things make it worse versus make it better? Tons of questions. It's really, really hard to diagnose that specific question. I will say that in general, foot stuff is best to let rest, like let it rest. If you have an injury, if you have something chronic, it's likely something that you've been doing over a period of time. You might need to let that rest or find some rehabilitation movements that are designed to bring the function of the foot back in line with what it's supposed to be doing, and retrain yourself to do the thing that you've been doing wrong right. Okay. So a lot of times we get into a situation, we have a chronic issue, we go get it fixed, and then we go back to doing things we were doing before. And then we have that issue again, and then we get it fixed, and then we go back to doing like, don't just get it fixed. Learn why it happened in the first place, and fix the why so that you don't have that issue again in the future. Okay. I would recommend going to see a PT, going to see a physical therapist, going to find somebody that can help you diagnose what the issue actually is, and then figuring out how to fix the root cause, not just that one thing. Like, my foot hurts when I walk. Okay, great. Why does it hurt? What caused that thing to happen? If something's not working right, let's fix that. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. Hey, Coach, Todd said 12 days to the cruise. All right. Facebook user says, I'll be there. Pamela says, still training for the marathon. How much leg training is good? Totally up to how your progress is doing, guys. The only rule is your progress. Okay. Remember that. The only rule is your progress. How are you gauging your preparedness for the race? Is the leg training preventing that progression, or is it helping that progression? Do you feel like leg training is interrupting or causing setbacks in your recovery from your practice runs and things like that? So you got to play that stuff in there. In most cases, the closer you get to an event, the less general training and foundational training you're doing, and the more specific training you're going to do. So if you're a few weeks out from your race, it's very likely that any leg training you're going to do is going to be minimal, and it's going to be more supportive accessory stuff, nothing directly on anything that's going to actually affect your running ability. So you just got to balance it out. I don't know if you're working with a coach, if you're following a program, but you just have to gauge, like, is this interrupting the progression of how I'm prepping for the actual event? Okay. If it's getting in the way of that, then you need to adjust and prioritize. During your off season, in between events, things like that, hit the legs. The legs should be a priority, and then the running should be a maintenance. Okay. Maintain in the off season, do some things that are skill related, learn some things about better ways to train more efficiently, how to train running, things like that, run it more efficiently, whatever. You can make gains in your running performance through other ways than just running more. And one of those ways is by getting stronger, building muscular endurance, becoming better at fuel efficiency. So that's something that you focus on in the off season. Hope that makes sense. Okay. Let's see. Ben's not coming. Westman is. Rita says, All right, let's see what Rita says. Good evening. I'm getting back into working out, starting with some knowledge, but not a lot. Aren't we all? Don't we all have some, but not a lot? Want to lift as much as safe to build muscles. Is that a good idea? Absolutely. That's a great idea. That's not just a good idea. That's a great, fantastical idea. Okay, Rita, go lift the weights, 125%. Okay, find something that's challenging and do it until it's not challenging. Then make it more challenging, and then do that until it's not challenging, and repeat the process over and over again until for the rest of your life. That is the process of getting more fit, getting stronger, and maintaining physical independence. Okay, that's all you got to do. Do it. Make something hard easy. Then make it hard again, and then make it easy, and then make it hard, then make it easy. That's all you got to do. So yes, go lift weights and build the muscles. I don't care if you're 15 years old, if you're 50 years old, if you're 75 years old, go lift some weights. Okay? Appropriate weight, applied consistently is going to improve everything about your quality of life. Okay, guaranteed. Hope that helps, Rita. Let's see, we got here metatarsal. Oh, you're talking about your foot, metatarsal pain from bunions. Oh, bunions. Okay. So if this is a continuation of the forefoot question, it's because of bunions. You got to get with a specialist and work through that. You cannot work. You're not going to work through that on your own. Go get a specialist. There are some things that you can do. I actually watched a video about a physical therapist who was using kinesio tape to help relieve bunion pain with his patients. He said it's super effective. He can, he can do it, and he can teach them how to do it. So there are things that you can do to help relieve pain. My understanding that bunions, once you have them, they're not going away, but you can definitely relieve some of the pain and discomfort. Okay, so find a specialist to work with. All right. Great question. I love this. Knowledge Oasis. Have you ever come across the phenomenon, now I can't say it right. Sorry, Knowledge Oasis. I'm messing up your question. Have you ever come across the phenomenon of over-exercising, especially in women, whereby a person suddenly becomes anemic, thyroid crisis, adrenal crisis, etc.? Absolutely. I see it on the regular, especially with women, especially with women in their 40s and above, because they're in that range where they've been told for so long that that's what they need to do to be skinny. That's part of why my message is lift weights, build muscle, think about quality of life, don't think about being skinny. You can be skinny and absolutely as unhealthy in sometimes worse health than someone who's 150 pounds overweight. Think about that, guys. If you are overworking and not giving your body a chance to actually benefit from the work that you're doing, you are making yourself go in the opposite direction. It is unhealthy. It's unhealthy. Okay. So yes, I see it frequently. It is something that I preach against as much as absolutely possible. I just had a conversation. I literally 30 minutes before this call had somebody in the boot camp who was mentioning that they're doing the boot camp workouts, and before they do the boot camp workouts, they're going to do a group fitness class on their own. And I was like, whoa, hold on a second. You definitely, number one, doing a secondary program to a program you're doing that's already comprehensive and contains a lot of different things is not a good idea. You can't, I program a certain way. I'm including X, Y, and Z. If you go do you're doing my program. If you go do another program, I don't know what they're doing. They don't know what I have you doing. Okay. You have no idea if you're overworking, overtraining, getting in back different information about what you should be doing for movements, any of that kind of stuff. It is never a good idea to get into a program that's designed to be comprehensive and functional and then go do another program that's doing a similar thing. Okay. Pick one, especially if, and you shouldn't be doing it 2 days to 2 workouts in a day. Okay. So 3 to 4 days a week on average for most people is really what you need, all you need. Okay. One workout per one of those days is also all you need. Okay. We're talking about quality of life. You're not a football player. You don't need to do 2-a-days. Okay. And the more you do, the worse you will end up. The more you do, the worse you will end up. It is not good for your body to always be in fight or flight mode. Okay. The most common thing that I hear from women in their 40s and above, when you talk about this adrenal fatigue, thyroid issues, hormone imbalances, cortisol levels, all of these things, has nothing to do with what they're eating. It has everything to do with what they're not eating, because they're not eating enough protein. Many of them are not eating enough food in general. Okay. I see a lot of women who aren't getting enough sleep, who are overstressed, taking on other people's stress instead of just dealing with their own. And on top of all of that, working out incessantly, particularly doing cardio incessantly, not even doing anything that's going to build strength, build muscle, improve metabolic function, and reduce stress. The more muscle you have, the less stress you have. So chill out on the working out, guys. Okay. Yeah. I hope that answers your question, Knowledge Oasis. Yes, I have seen it. I see it all the time. I want to talk about it for hours and hours and hours on end and let people know that the more you rest, if you're properly stimulating the growth factors, right? If you're going in and working hard, then rest. You don't need to work out kind of hard and then kind of hard and then kind of hard and then kind of hard. Just work out hard and then rest. Give your body a chance to recover. It'll recover better. You'll feel so much better. And then you can work out hard again and get into that flow. Okay. All right. A little bit of a rant. I'm a little ranty today. All right. What else? We got another one. Let's see. Donna, still working on push-ups. We got here, Donna. Donna's doing good. Still working on push-ups, still doing them on the desk, but also doing 5 on the floor. Hey, awesome. Claps. Fantastic. I can get halfway down and back up with decent form. That is absolutely fantastic. That is a great way to scale it, modify the range of motion so you can get a little bit lower and a little bit lower each time. That's awesome. That is fantastic. Way to go, Donna. I love it. Instagram, you guys are quiet tonight. What's going on with you on Instagram? I need some questions over here on Instagram side. We had Power Puck ask a question and that's it. Let's go. Step up your game. What other questions we got? See you on the cruise too. Rita said, I did it. Thank you. Suggestion. Somebody said for whoever was asking about the bunions, they use PedFix gel spacers for foot issues. That's something to check out. Michael Stern says, hey, brother, what's up, Mike? How's it going? All right, that's it on YouTube, guys. Instagram, YouTube had some good ones. What do you guys have? While I'm waiting on more questions, let's talk about the boot camp. Okay, so making changes with the boot camp. We just released the boot camp. What could you be changing? I'm getting an app. I got an app. So I hooked up with a company. We got a fantastic app. I've been using an application called Train Heroic for my workouts, and we're going to be eventually merging all those workouts into this new app. But the F2 Method Fitness app will be coming out officially in about 3 weeks. All right, you'll be able to get it on the App Store. People that are in the boot camp actually have access to it now as the setup. We're kind of getting things set up, and their access in there now. But guys, this is freaking amazing. Community groups. You can chat with your team. You can chat with everybody that's in the program. We got resources, all the links and downloads and videos and all the kind of stuff that you can get right in the app. All the workout stuff will be there eventually. We're going to do that last. We're going to get all the other stuff in first because the workout stuff moving over is a pain, but that's in the works. All the videos and everything will be in there. Coaching. For any of the services that you're part of. If you're in the boot camp, as an example, the boot camp has coaches. So if you're a team, it's time for you to you got to work with your coach. It's time for you to do your check-in. It's time for you to put in your body count. It's time for you to do your food journal. It hooks in, it links into Chronometer. So your food stuff is already in there. Like it links to your Fitbit or your Google Fit. So your exercise stuff can be in there. All that stuff is automatic. It's in there. You can take progress photos and only you and your coach can see them. You do food journal, take pictures of your food, write down what you ate, how you felt about it. I really like this. This was boring, whatever it may be. Okay. All that stuff is in there. Messaging and announcements and leaderboards and tracking all of your history of all of your exercising. There's so much stuff in here, guys. It's absolutely amazing. I'm so glad I found it. And once we get everything up and running, it's already, the people that are in there now for the boot camp have already said multiple times, like they are so happy. Everything's in one spot, right? Because we used to run the boot camp, right? Here's how we used to run the boot camp. Facebook group, 2 Facebook groups, okay? 2 or 3 folders on Google Drive, right? Because we got spreadsheets and we got downloads and we got uploads and things like that, all the different things you need access to, and Train Heroic for the workout. So we had like 3 folders, 2 groups, an app, all of this stuff. And if you chronometer, like all these different things, it kind of just gets to be annoying. You got to go here, go there, go here. So this has it all of it in one spot. And it's going to be freaking fantastic. It's branded to F2 Fit, to F2 Method. I'm just super happy with it. So as we get more into that, you will definitely be hearing more about the app. All right, now here's the thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about that I didn't know if I want to talk to you guys about it. Because I'm still in negotiations. Okay. We got a question, a good question on Instagram before I get into this. Cliffhanger. All right, Kelly, what's up? Attempting to heal outer meniscus tear with red light. Hey, interesting. All right. Do you know anyone who's healed a meniscus tear without surgery? No. I do not know anyone that has healed a meniscus tear. I know people that have compensated through improving their movement mechanics and building strength in that limb. Not the same thing. But the symptoms of having a meniscus tear go away. I'm one of them. I have a meniscus tear technically in both knees, but in my left knee, it's bad. There was a time where I could barely sit down in a chair without pain. Working through that, figuring out what was going on, building some strength and doing some mechanical adjustments in how I squat and do different things has made it better. I still feel it every once in a while, but it doesn't affect any of my performance or any of my workouts. So no, it is not healed, but the symptoms of it have not been an issue for several years. So that's good to know, though. Let us know how that's working if you feel like it's good. And remember, just because the symptoms go away doesn't mean the meniscus tear is going away, but just the symptoms of it. So it could just be inflammation. Sometimes with the meniscus tear, the tear is irritated, or a flap of it is irritated. That's where the pain comes from, not from anything else. So the red light may be helping the inflammation, not necessarily heal a tear. So the only way to know is if you're getting it scanned. I'm not sure. I don't remember if an x-ray will catch it or not. Get some imaging to see where it's at, and then do it for a while, then go back and do it again and see if it's improved, if the tear itself is improved. Okay. Because I don't want you to think that, oh my gosh, this thing is healed, and then go do all the stuff you were doing before and then have it get worse. Okay. So yes, do the red light. Yes, take it easy, but focus on building strength as much as possible and get someone to look at how you're moving, because there may be something that you're doing in your movement that is causing the issue or making it worse. So you might be able to alleviate some pain and discomfort by fixing some of those other things, right? If you're having knee issues, it could be because of something with your ankle. If you're having hip issues, it could be because of something with your knee. So a lot of times the issue that you're seeing isn't the problem. It's a result of a problem somewhere else on your body. Okay. So just check that out. Good question though. Okay. So back to what I was saying. The biggest issue that a lot of people have or say they have is money when it comes to working with any type of fitness program. Okay. When it comes to fitness, it seems like fitness is at the bottom of the list of priorities when it comes to funds and financial decisions that people have to make. They would much rather go get their lattes at Starbucks or spend money on clothes or shoes or a car or who knows what else. Okay. Fitness is usually the bottom of the list. One of the ways that I can help alleviate, because you guys know one of my things is I want to be the excuse killer, and I want to take away every excuse that you have for not doing something to help your fitness. Okay. So that being said, I am currently in discussions with a company who will process my program's payments. So you sign up for a program, you make a payment to me for the month, whatever you subscribe to the boot camp, let's say. Your payments for my services can be covered with FSA, and HSA funds. It is a preventive health program that qualifies for FSA, HSA funds. I'm working with a company that will help you process those payments so that you can use your FSA card, your HSA card to pay and get reimbursed. Okay. So I guess it would be you make the payment, you get the information, you go there, they fill out the paperwork, and then you get a reimbursement check from your insurance. Okay. So it's not final, but I just want to let you guys know. Hit me up if you're curious about how this is going to work, or you think this might be something that will work for you. Shoot me a message. I want to know if this is actually something people will use. Okay. Because I think it's huge. Okay. You guys know I just started my job a couple months ago. I haven't had an HSA or FSA in years. So now that I have one again, I actually had to go because I have this bone spur in my elbow. So I had to go to the doctor the last week, had him drain the bursitis, shoot me up cortisone, give me all this stuff, and got the bill. And I have funds in my HSA to pay for it. I don't have to take it out of anywhere else. So it's really super cool to be able to say, hey, I can use these funds that I'm putting in that are tax deductible, right? So you're saving money and you're spending that money that you're saving without having it to come out of, your coffee fund, okay, on a fitness program that's going to help you improve your quality of life. Like it's a no lose situation here, guys, right? So again, I'm in talks. We're negotiating all the details, and then I'll let you know. So if everything goes well, I should have a yes or no in the next couple weeks. And you guys just keep your ears out because I might be having some big news. Okay. All right, guys. That's all I got for tonight. Oh, wait, we got one more question. Let's see. Wait, I thought we had one more question. What exercise? Ooh, here we go. This is a good question. Last question of the night. Deb. All right, Deb. Hey, Deb, how are you doing? All right, on the YouTubes. Okay. What exercise would you recommend with degenerative disc, joint, and compressed disc in the lower back? Okay. Any exercise, if you learn how to do it properly. Bing! There's the key. There's the kicker. Okay. Learning how to stabilize and keep your lower back in good position is going to be the most challenging part of any movement that you do. So I would stick with movements that don't force you to lose that structure in your lower back. Okay. And honestly, even things like planks would probably not be a good idea right now, because being in a plank requires a lot of work, and the lower back in a plank is usually the first thing to go. That's the first thing to get fatigued, and you're going to lose it in the lower back first. So doing things like bird dogs, good mornings, learning how to hip hinge properly. Okay, so those types of things. Working on your core is another good thing to do too. Remember that the lower back is one side. Okay, the reason the lower back gets weak and gets hurt in many cases is because the front side is weak. Okay, so the lower back basically gets overworked, it gets overtrained, and it falls apart faster. So support your backside by building up your front side. So doing a lot more core work can be something that's going to help as well. So pretty much anything that's core, which is a lot of things. There's a lot of things you can do for core work. Okay, I have some videos on my YouTube: Powell off presses, leopard crawls, hollow rocks, hollow bodies. Things where you're laying on your back, doing things with your core engagement, hollow holds. There's a handful of different things that you can do there. But in general, if you needed to do it on your own without having a coach or someone there watching you and giving you pointers as you're doing it, find some videos. Like I have some videos on my YouTube that are like more detailed in how to do a hip hinge, how to deadlift properly, things like that, where it talk about how to keep your lower back straight when you're bending. That's the number. I think that might be the number one thing to worry about is anytime you're bending over or squatting or sitting down in a chair, or when you're sitting for a while, right? When you're sitting for a while, you tend to slouch, right? Sitting up and understanding what that hip position, you'll see in some of my videos where I talk about hip position. Rolling your hips forward is a great way to get your lower back in proper position. So whenever you're slouching, the lower back is taking that extra stress. It's when your hips roll backwards and you kind of get that rounded lower back. So learning that kind of stuff is going to help with that a lot. Okay, but you can do a lot of things once you learn how to stay in proper position. Hope that helps. Okay. All right, guys. That is all the information for tonight. Dead bugs can be fantastic. Yes, Michelle. Did you hear that, Deb? Dead bugs are great for that. And there's a bunch of different ways to do them. All right. So lots of things going on. The bootcamp app is live. It's going to be, well, it's there. We have a new app for the bootcamp. It'll be fully live and everything in a few weeks. Potentially, fingers crossed, guys, fingers crossed, we get some HSA, FSA functionality into the system so you guys can use your insurance benefits for programs. And we got the cruise in 2 weeks. So see ya. And we will still be going live on the cruise. Don't you think I'm going to miss my live. So 2 Tuesdays from now, we'll be on the cruise and we're still going live. All right. Take it easy, guys. Have a great night. See ya. Bye.